Hello, everyone. My name is Kirchner, and I started my career in the car business, and this is the story of the beginning. So, I went to a Toyota dealership to get a job selling cars. When I went to apply, they said that they were going to be hiring 20 salespeople. 18 for the new car side, 2 for the used car side. And the first thing that I needed to do was go through 2 weeks of training. So ended up filling out an application, got set up to train for 2 weeks. Went through 2 weeks of training. At the end of the training, they said that we were going to have the opportunity to interview with the new car manager and interview with the used car managers. But the used cars, they were only gonna take 2 salespeople. And one of the things that I realized really quickly is you're gonna make a lot more money selling used cars than new cars. First thing that happens is new cars, people just come in, wanna test drive new cars. They literally just sometimes waste your time. Used cars, somebody comes in, they're looking to buy a car. So a lot of times, and there's a lot more opportunity to make more money. There's more profit in used cars. So I ended up interviewing with the new car manager, interviewed with the used car manager, and I was one of 2 guys that got picked to go into used cars. So I was super excited. The next day is my first day at the dealership in the used car side, and I pull in, go to walk up to the used car side, and I see probably about 18 to 20 salespeople standing outside on what we call the front pad, the porch area. And you really weren't allowed inside unless you were eating, going to the bathroom, or working with a customer. So you really had to stay outside and wait to get what you call an up, which is a customer. So first day I walk up, I see a salesperson, and I put out my hand to say, "Hi, my name is Kirchner." And the first thing he says to me is, "Fuck you, fuck you." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You see that bench over there?" And I looked over there and there was a bench. He goes, "That's your seat. Go sit in that bench." And I looked at all the other salespeople. They're all staring at me and said, "Yeah, that's your bench. Go sit down." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what the freak?" And I went, sat down on the bench, and literally was sitting there for about 2.5 hours, stood up. Every salesperson turned around and said, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm going in the dealership to go to the bathroom." "All right, go to the bathroom, come back and sit on your bench." And that's what I did the entire first day. Besides eating, going to the bathroom, was sit on that bench. I went home that night. I was literally so stressed out, so broken. I had no idea. I was like, this is not for me. I don't even know why I'm doing this. And something inside me said, just give it a chance, man. I knew that there was good money selling cars. I knew there was an opportunity to make something of myself. And I had literally graduated high school with a 4th grade reading level. I could hardly read and write. I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good. I wasn't going to go to college. And I wanted to make something of myself. And I knew that the car business, you could make really good money. Long story short, the next day, same thing. Pulled up to the dealership, go over to the used car side, and all the salespeople look at me and they said, "There's your bench. Go sit down on your bench." And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm sitting on the bench. It's probably about between 2 and 2:30, and one of the salespeople look over at me and said, "Hey, you." And I even went like, "Me?" And they were like, "Yeah, you. Go take that customer outside in the parking lot." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "For real?" And he's like, "Go take that customer." And I walk out to the parking lot, and there's this young 16-year-old kid standing out there looking at this 1992 white Honda Prelude. And I walk over and I say, "Hi, my name's Roy Kirchner. How can I help you?" And he says, "Listen, my mom's gonna be buying me a car." And so I started showing him the car, and he asked me, he says, "Is there any way that you could drive me in it? I'm only 16. I know I'm not capable of driving. I'm not 18. And I said, "Well, let me go ask the manager if I can drive you in it." So I go inside to the dealership. I go to the sales manager and I explain the situation. I told him, "Listen, I've got this young kid. He says his mom's going to be buying him a car, and is there any way I could drive him in the car?" So the manager says, "Yes, go ahead." I put a tag on the car at that point in time, a license plate, and I drive him in the car. And he loves it, loves the car. We get back to the dealership and he says, "Okay, I'll be back with my mom." And I'm kind of like, "Yeah, right, he ain't gonna be back." And so I put the 1992 Honda Prelude away, I put my tag away, and I know where I'm going. I'm sitting on this bench. So literally sitting on this bench, it's about 8:50 at night. We close at 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden him and his mom pull up at the dealership. Now, this is a little bit of a catch-22, okay? There's 10 minutes before we're gonna close. So the one thing that I do know is we wanna sell cars, but the other thing that we don't wanna do is we don't wanna keep the sales manager and people there after 9 o'clock, because we got there at 9 in the morning and we're working key to key, 9 to 9. So if you really wanna piss off the sales manager, you keep them there late. And that's not a good thing to do. And I'm already what you call a green pea. I'm already at the bottom of the barrel sitting on a porch. So I go up to the sales manager. I end up talking to the mom. She wants to drive the car. We ended up filling out paperwork because, bottom line, the son wanted to go with the mom, and it's the 1992 Honda Prelude. It's only a two-door. So the mom and the son drive the car. They come back. While they're driving the car, the sales manager, he says to me, he's like, "Listen, let's see if we can put a deal together. Bottom line, bring them inside, sit them down. If we can put a deal together, we're going to put a deal together." It was bottom line. It was pretty slow that day. But he's like, "If not, then let's just get rid of them and let's get out of here." Because I knew we had to be back at the dealership the next day at 9 in the morning. So I literally did exactly what he said. They pulled back up. He said he loves the car, she loves the car, brought him inside, sat him down. Sales manager came in, ended up working out all the numbers. I'm standing, outside of the door, listening, learning. And then, the sales manager says, "Hey, we got a deal together." So at this point in time, the only people that are at the dealership is the sales manager, me, the customer, and an F&I manager. So we end up getting them all the paperwork done, get them in what you call finance and insurance, F&I, with the F&I manager, and that's who does all the paperwork, figures out the monthly payment, all those types of things. And while they're in there, the sales manager and me are talking. He's getting to know me. And we're end up talking for quite some time because it was taking them a little bit of time to close them on the monthly payment. Actually, what ended up happening is they almost blew out, and blew out means left. We ended up closing the deal. We sold them a car, and it was the first car I sold. Second day, and literally now I'm on fire. Like I'm so happy. So wait till you hear what happens the third day. I get up in the morning, get dressed, drive to the dealership, and it's my third day, and I walk outside on the porch, and all the salespeople are looking at me, and the sales manager walks out and says these exact words: "Hey, this is Roy. Don't fuck with him. He's one of you now." And literally, I didn't have to sit on I didn't have to sit down anymore. I was standing up. They started talking to me, And that was my start in the car business. And literally out of a dealership, new and used, 65 salespeople, I was number 2 in the store my first year. If you're thinking about getting into the car business, it's definitely one thing I can tell you is if you can sell cars, you can sell anything. Second thing I can tell you about selling cars is no matter what happens in your life, if you can sell cars, no matter what, if everything is taken away from you, you can jump on a plane, go anywhere in the United States, walk in any car dealership, and you can start selling cars and make a living. It's a phenomenal career to understand how to talk to people and how to connect with people. It literally, lots of people say, if you can sell cars, you can sell anything. And I absolutely believe that. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the car business. Again, my name is Roy Kirchner. Please feel free to comment below. Please feel free to ask me any and all questions that you would like to ask me. Thank you for listening to my story. Have a great day.